welcome to another video of Vibing with Via. Don't mind the noise in the background, the laundry is going at the same time. Alright, so today I'm going to be making half of a chicken, and I'm going to be making a very quick chicken recipe basically. It's gonna be better than barbecue chicken, I kid you not, but just look at how I'm going to be doing this one. So I have the half of a chicken here, and I'm going to go ahead and season this meat. Of course, it has already been washed, double washed, you know the drill, vinegar, and then some citrus. If you look here, you notice that there's a little bit of fat. I have not pared that. That's deliberate. Okay, so let's season. I have some salt I'm adding, not too much, and you're going to see why shortly. Adding some black pepper, get it in those little crevices and corners as well. Even at the side of the pan, that's fine, because of course we're gonna flip it over, right? That looks good. You know the drill, we're not seasoning anything and not going with our good old ginger. Very important. I'm doing this generously. Ginger is so important in every meal. No inflammation to the stomach, yeah? Alright, I'm also going to be adding some red pepper. This is cayenne. Favorite of mine, lots of that. I like flavorful chicken, as you can imagine. I'm going in with a little bit of ground pimento. My new favorite, by the way. Get this one from Kiehl's. You can DM me if you want to find out, or you can check her out on IG. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the product is now available in the supermarkets in Mandeville. So hopefully it's right across Jamaica very soon. But I have to endorse all those persons who are making waves and making products that are pretty good, okay? So that's the pimento that's there. I also need some, what you call this, paprika. How could I forget that? My paprika. It's going with paprika. Paprika, by the way, is actually sweet pepper, right? But it gives good color. When you're making the meat, it gives it a good color. And yeah, pretty much that. I wish it was smoked paprika. I need to buy some smoked paprika, coming to think of it. That's what I really need to do. And of course, how can I do this and not add in some garlic? Come on. Okay, so our chicken was already flipped. I'm just going to go in now and basically rub up all the seasoning in the crevices, in the corners, everywhere you could think about. Remember, we want this to be loaded with flavor. You see, especially here where there is the rib bones, you want to make sure that the seasoning is all the way down in here. Okay, so this is it. There's a little slit that's here in the breast section. You're not really opening this section here too wide, but because it's there, you want to rub some of your seasoning there. The aim, the idea is that everywhere on your chicken is supposed to have that seasoning, okay? That's the aim right now. Okay, so this looks good. Now I want to point out that I have removed the flat piece from the chicken wing, and that's because we're going to be browning this in a saucepan on the top, and we just don't want that part. It's not attractive. I don't even know why people eat that part of the chicken, to be honest. Pan is here, it's hot. Literally, I'm going in with this much oil. This around, make sure that the entire pot is coated with oil. It's not a lot. As soon as this is heated, we can feel that coming through. I'm going to go in now with 2 pieces of butter and allow this to just melt slowly. So again, moving this around the pot. Want everything to become infused. I am going to be adding some garlic. Just allow that to do its thing. Again, I want this to be infused. Smells so good. There's something about garlic butter in it that's very exciting. My goodness. All right, I think this is just about ready. I'm going in now with the whole chicken. Notice how I'm putting it. This side down. Just resting it in the pot. That's what we want. Now, as soon as we've gone in with this, I've used a piece of twig or twine, whatever you want to call it, to tie some pieces of thyme together. And I'm just going to be putting the thyme at the side of the pot here and brushing it over our chicken. Just brushing it over the chicken. So the thyme is going to become infused here. You have to be careful, it may pop, especially if the thyme is wet. And just want to base this over. Now that this side is done, we want to flip it over. Have to be very careful with it. Okay. And we're just putting the other side right here in this buttery goodness, just the same, and allowing it to brown up. That's the beauty about melting butter and a little bit of oil. It's good for browning meat. Once it is through searing, this is what it looks like. Don't mind the little chars that you're seeing there. This is going to be fine. This is ready now to go into the oven. So let's pop this on our baking tray. Oven is ready, so this is going to be going in for about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, because we really want this meat to be cooked all the way through. By the way, I'm going to be putting a foil tent over this. I'm just going to be covering it with another piece of foil paper. Why didn't I get that ready? Okay, so I have a piece of foil paper, and I'm just going to be putting the foil paper over it, just like a little tent. I don't want it to be like, you know, resting on it per se. I just want it to be over the meat a little bit so that it can steam through in the cooking process as well. So I'm going to pop this into the oven, and like I said, maybe 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to be checking back on it. By the way, fun fact, you know that Jamaicans have the tendency to overcook meat, right? That's how we are. Everything for us must be well done. All right, to the oven we go. The chicken is in the oven doing its thing. I'm preparing for the next stage of the meal. So I have two Irish potatoes here that I have washed. You've never really seen me cooking Irish potato in the skin. 90% of the time I'm gonna be peeling this because I just always feel like, listen, skin is dirty and all of this madness, right? But anyway, I have thoroughly washed this one. I'm gonna be popping it in the water shortly, and I have prepared my onions with just a little bit of Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'm going to be caramelizing this on the stovetop. So I'll be using the very same frying pan that I had done the chicken in, and as you can see, there's a little bit of oil in it. I took out the excess. I just want the onions to caramelize. Now the onions has this natural sweetness to it, and once your flame is down on low and you allow them to sit there and constantly move them, probably every 2 to 3 minutes, you're gonna find that they're going to become caramelized. Like I said, I added a little bit of scotchy to this because that's just me. Pepper half in the thing, you know what I mean? All right, let's go. Already, I want you to notice what's happening. The onions are breaking down and they're becoming brown. We're going through this process. I'm going to be adding a little bit of vegetable stock to this, just for added flavor. Won't be a big deal because all of this will eventually just evaporate out, but this will aid in releasing the flavor of the onions and also the scotchy. Okay, so we'll keep this process going. Again, we have to ensure that we keep this moving. This is what is needed for it not to sit there and stick. This is perfectly caramelized. Okay, so guess what? I'm now going to add some bell peppers to this and just allow it to continue to brown before adding my potatoes. But I'm excited for this, really excited about it. I've added just a little bit more of that vegetable stock. I'll continue to move this around, but I'll also add just a little bit of salt to aid in releasing the flavor. Okay, so let's take a look. Our potatoes are fully cooked. I'm just gonna throw this water off, allow it to cool down a little bit because I want to actually remove the skin from the potato. No, I'm not going to be cooking it with the skin. I'm not going to cook it any further with the skin rather. So I just want this to cool down a little bit so that I can go ahead and remove the skin from it so I can hit this in the pot. Okay, so our caramelized onion is done. The 2 potatoes that I had here, I have just basically peeled them and I put them on the stove. I have a little piece of butter, and the primary reason for getting this is because I want it to just melt over the potato a little bit to make it somewhat creamy and to add some flavor to it. So it's not really about aiding in the saute process, so to speak, of the onion and so, but of course it's gonna get in there. Add an extra layer of salt to this. Now we're not waiting on everything to go all the way down. The butter is slowly melting. Let me just go in now and add a little bit of paprika, some paprika to the mix, and I'm also going to be adding a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Okay, just a little bit Cajun spice. That's that, and we pretty much just want to move this around just like this in our pot, have everything combined, because this is how we are going to be serving it. This is pretty much it, guys. This part is ready. We're just waiting on our chicken now to be fully cooked, and then I'm gonna plate it up for you. Of course, once all of this is stirred around to goodness, what we can do is to hit the pot with just a little bit of dried parsley, you know, so the potato don't look boring. Look at that, just some dried parsley. That's all, presentation purposes. Let's wait for the plating. Working on our chicken, this is what it looks like now. The chicken is evidently cooked. We can see that there is still some moisture in it, which is good. We don't want this to dry out too much. And so I am now going to be leaving it in the oven for 5 minutes uncovered. And guess what? I'm going to be making a nice base for it, just to give it a little sheen, a little glaze, a little something. Okay, additional flavor. Alrighty, let's get going. What do I have here? A little bit of hoisin sauce, some mustard, ketchup, fish and meat sauce, soy sauce, and of course the base is some maple syrup, and I'm just gonna mix this all together. So we're gonna be using our basting brush, basically just getting this in the crevices and in the corners of the chicken as best as possible. All the way down to the bone underneath this nice section here. You want it to go there as well. Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is my take on a nice oven baked chicken. You will not miss the whole barbecue vibe. And of course, I've served this up with some potatoes. Look at this, and caramelized onions with, oh my goodness, this smells so divine. There are loads of flavors that's just coming up as this breeze blows into my nostrils, and I cannot wait to serve this to my guests today. The truth is, y'all know by now that I've kind of like eased off eating chicken, but this one, it really looks enticing. Look at that char, look at that moisture. Oh my goodness, this looks good. Look at the potato. You'd never imagine that this potato was baked, right? I mean boiled. You'd never imagine that this potato was actually boiled. But yeah, all that goodness. Bon appetit. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the goodness that's being prepared over here. See you in the next video.